All right, welcome to Cozy Quilt Designs Fat Quarter Friday. I'm Camby.
And I'm Jess, and today we are talking about this wonderful pattern from this wonderful book called Fat Quarters Anonymous. Shh, we're anonymous here.
We're anonymous.
The pattern that we are doing out of this book today is called Stardom. It's hanging behind us here. We've got a couple of colorways hanging up. We're going to talk more about color and fat quarter selection, but what's the first thing you notice about this?
Big blocks.
It's nice, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that because as you can see in this one with the floral, you have nice chunks of that floral in there. And, you know, some patterns just don't lend to what I would call fussy cutting.
Sure.
Something special, you know? And so this is one of those patterns that you can take that fabric you've been saving because it was so special and really just have it be the way you want it to be.
I love it.
Yeah.
What you're right about that, because in the instructions cutting out the middle square, there is room. Like there's room to move it around, so you really could find that like perfect.
That sweet spot.
Oh, yes. The sweet spot. I love it. That's awesome. So we've got two colorways up here. Over here, Tula's shining really bright. She's such a shiny, got such shiny fabrics with lots of bold colors, and then the floral over there.
Yeah, this is a Robin Pickens.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Is really cool. And then to point out real quick is that we've got the star here, and then we've got this center, what are these? These are half square triangles. Is there a name for the four of them together?
It's a quarter square triangle, but the block ends here.
Yes.
So they're the corners of the block.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really cool because I feel like it gives a little bit of an on point look without actually being on point.
Yes.
Which I love because it's nice to not have to.
We both love not doing that math.
I need a little bit of practice with actually I don't think I have done an on point, so it's on my bucket list,
I guess that's on your list then.
But it's really cool how it comes together, and what I want to point out is that the four here are going to be from fat quarters, but they're separate from the fat quarters that you use to do your stars. So when you're thinking about selecting your fat quarters for this pattern and dividing them up, and if you are choosing, say, like a big bold print, something that you do want to fussy cut, but then you've got this other one that's like, I don't know, a small print or a blender, you could put that, you don't have to do the star out of that.
Yeah.
So that's what's kind of nice, is that you can really choose to highlight certain ones because those are going to be your star fat quarters, and then you've got your other blenders that you can use, or even maybe more solids that can come over here for those corners.
Yeah. And we did mock up a couple colorways, right? So we did a what we're calling a neutrals, and it just looks great. So take a look.
Yeah, so we'll throw it up here on the screen. We also have a copy of it here so we can talk about it ourselves.
Yes. And you'll notice in this one, for the quarter square triangles, I used some of the darker fabric that we had, and then some of the lighter fabric that we had. So it was really fun to be able to say, oh, I want this one to be a star, but I want this one to be, I called it an accent.
Sure, and that's definitely a space in the pattern where you could choose to accent something. No, I think this is a really great, and you got movement in there too with that print, because it kind of stands out a bit against those two lighter ones.
And that was something else I was thinking as we were doing it, so I did it more with our second colorway that we prepared.
Look at that.
Okay. This one is brighter, and you'll notice we had to add an extra fabric in here that was not in the line just to get to the number of fat quarters we needed.
Right, which was 13, I believe.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
And so that one I threw into those quarter square triangles, and you'd never know that it wasn't part of the line.
Right.
You know, and then I used some of the darker colors there too to just kind of, you know, play around, and I picked my favorites for the stars, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, well, I think that's what everybody would do, is you pick your favorites for those star moments, and then you can, and then what's nice about the other ones, like, okay, maybe it's not your favorite because you have your favorite fat quarters that you choose for the stars, but they're still gonna be impactful in those corners, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that was cool. And then, you know, as I was doing the mock-ups, I was thinking about how you said you had fun putting this block together. And share with everybody else why it was fun.
Okay, well, can I just say that part of why it was fun is because I need practice with my corners. And I was really pleased that these came out like really
Your
pretty
points
good.
are great. Yeah.
I've got some good points, which I've got good points. Which is a little bit newer for me. I feel like I have to do a lot of unsewing sometimes, and this one just...
But you didn't with this one,
No, this
right?
one came together really, really easily. And a lot of it was like just simply the technique, and like probably because I am getting better.
Yeah, practice makes us better, right? Yeah.
And then the other thing too is just like it's broken down so easily. I mean, that big square in the middle, there's already a lot of progress because there's a lot of inches covered with that. And then it was just super easy to put it together. So I'd love to show a demo.
All right,
show you how I did it.
I can't wait to see.
All right, let's take a look.
All right.
All right, demo time. So what you're going to start off with for your stars is in this section here. So we've got our large square that we were talking about. You are going to get 2 of these out of each fat quarter. And then for your squares here, these are going to become the flying geese on the bit of background segments. So you're going to have 4 of these and 8 of these and 1 of these for each star. And you'll get 2 out of each fat quarter, 2 stars out of each fat quarter, which is nice. Then we are going to have, mine is a miniature version, so it all fits on camera. But we are going to have a background piece, a strip here, and then a print strip from the fat quarters that are not your star fat quarters. And we're gonna do the tube technique to make your half square triangles. So we will show you that too. What do you want me to start with? What do you think?
Let's start with the flying geese.
Okay, so let's start. We are going to have our squares here. These are going to become the points on the flying geese and the points on the star. And you're going to draw a diagonal line through your square, which you are then going to line up on top of your background segment. You're going to stitch a line and on the line, but really what you should do is you should actually pull that stitch over towards the outer corner by just 1 stitch length. So I want you to just stitch right up next to that line. I've done it here already because there we go. And then what you do is we call it stitch and flip. So here is our flip. Boop. Once you've confirmed that this is correct, which thankfully it is, this one's not too hard to get. It's when you have different angles that it gets a little bit difficult. Then you can flip it over and trim off the excess. So that's really super easy way to do it. Now, there's an even easier thing to do, which I want to show you. One of our favorite tools is called the folded corner clipper. This might be a little bit hard to see. This skips the step of drawing the line, and it skips the step of having to trim off the excess on the back. So I'm going to show you that really quickly, how it works, because it's super, super fun. Okay, so here is the square. I'm just going to throw my folded corner clipper right on top, and then what we do is you line up an edge here, and then you line up the other line here with the width of your square. Then you'll see this guy is the built-in seam allowance. So let's just cut that off. Then see how we're going to put it here. That means we are going to cut off this side. So same thing, line it up right here. So I've got my edge lined up and on this side, and now I have a triangle to cut right off. Boop. Okay, so now our seam allowance is built in here, and it's built in here. So we line it up like this. Throw that right through your machine and you are going to get a super clean seam without having to trim because you did it first, and then you've got a good reference point for lining up your seams. Super, super easy. And then if you actually did draw the line and you forgot you had your folded corner clipper until you got to this stage, that's totally fine. You can still use it to trim off the back of your other one. Boop, there you go. Okay, super easy. So you're gonna repeat that 4 times because these become our star points. So you do that, and then you also need some corners. So let's do the corners next. We need our strip tube. So the strip tube technique is one of our very favorite things. Reminder, mine is a miniature version. I wanted to be able to fit it on camera. Your tube is going to be all the way the length of what the pattern told you to cut, which I think is a fat quarter length is what that is. So we lay it out. We have our fabrics right sides together. Then you do a 1/4 inch seam here and another 1/4 inch seam here. We've got a tube there. And now we take our handy dandy strip tube ruler. For the size that we're cutting out, you can use the junior, which is the small size. Does everything that the large one does, just easier to handle. Okay. For full-length YouTube video on how to use the strip tube ruler, you can check out our other video where we go into further detail. But what I want to point out to you right now is that we're doing our cutting on our bottom, or we're lining up our marking for the size block on our bottom stitching line. That is the key to the strip tube technique. And you cut up and you cut down. And voila, perfect half square triangle. So you're gonna get a lot of them because all you have to do now is flip your ruler and cut again, and you've got another half square triangle, and again yours is gonna be longer, so you will get all of the corners that you need out of your tube. So now that we're done and we've got our flying geese and we have our half square triangle, I'll show you how it comes together in the block. So here we have our block. As you can see with our flying geese, this is the one that we did earlier, and it goes here. Add your half square triangles to the sides like this and like this. Do the same thing here, and then you take your large square, you put your other 2 flying geese on either side, and there's your block. Follow the pressing instructions because they are really great. We've got some good presses on this one, some nice sharp corners thanks to the folded corner clipper, and also just to this technique, and also, hey, practice makes perfect, right? So, easy peasy.
So Jess, I can see why that was a fun block to put together.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know, there are only a couple of components, and as long as you're keeping everything kind of organized with your color, which is not hard to do, it's really fast. And I was surprised at how fast it comes together.
Yeah, and I loved your time-saving tips.
Thank you.
Including, you know, hours of the
Of course,
strip
I
tube.
mean, the strip tube technique is just our favorite, and I even said it. I was like, the folded corner clipper is my second favorite ruler.
Yeah.
But I think it really depends on the project because if you are doing a project where you don't need the strip tube technique, there aren't many for us that don't need it. You probably do actually use you could use the folded corner clipper. So like, don't tell anyone, but I'm kind of tied.
Yeah. Oh,
But
really?
they're different. Well, they're different
For
techniques,
different,
though.
yeah, different things like flying geese, half square triangles. I mean, for half square triangles, the strip tube
technique,
method
all
just
the way.
can't be beat.
No,
yeah.
you cannot. And what's really nice is the junior is small, and so is the folded corner clipper. So really easy to take with you to retreats.
Yes, exactly. All right, so Jess, what's important for people to know if they want to see more of our stuff?
Well, you can definitely go find us at cozyquilt.com. We have so many patterns, especially for pre-cuts. This today is particularly about fat quarters, But as you probably know, or if you don't know, welcome. We have a huge library of pre-cut patterns available. So go check out our website, cozyquilt.com, or please ask for us at your local quilt shop. You know, I'm sure many quilt shop owners have heard our name, but maybe they don't always think to bring us in. So if you mention it to them, I think they'll bring us.
I think so too, yeah.
Because we love just being able to spread the cozy patterns to the far reaches of the world, and it's with your help that we can do that. So yeah, ask for us at your local quilt shop, and hopefully we'll be there.
I know, right? And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications.
Yes, please
That way,
hit the bell.
That way you'll know every time we have something new to present.
Yeah, well, thanks so much. I hope you have found some inspiration with your fat quarters, maybe your stash busting, or new colorways that maybe you hadn't considered before. And yeah, we're just excited to keep bringing you more inspiration. So we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.